Okay, so here's a tutorial for Oh Holy Night. So we're going to just start with this particular video will be for the finger picking part in chord structure, which simply means plucking the strings as you press the chords down that are listed. So a C chord fingering, but we're going to pick every string. And for picking every string, and we are in 3/4 time, means we need more than the 4 strings. In 3/4 time, we actually need to double that up to 6 notes per measure. So that's going to be starting from the top, which is string 4, 3, 2, 1. And then to get our 6 notes that we need for the full measure, we need to come back up on 2 and on 3. So we're going to be picking 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So we just keep working through our strings and then back again. And then your chord change. So if we're doing 2 C's, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So you're picking and accentuating every note in the chord, coming back up for your number 5 and 6 to get our 3/4 time, and but you're only playing chord structures. You don't need to know individual notes on the strings. So if we are to start here again, we're going to start on the C chord. Also, the sweet spot on your ukulele is always where the strings meet the body, right here. So you can see that. And I like to grip the bottom of my ukulele right here, like so. So when I'm picking down, I'm pulling down on the strings with my thumb. It's a lot easier to do that than to come back here. Also, can you recognize this? The sound isn't as bright, but here it's amazingly much more clear and has a lot more sound. And the reason for that is the resonation of the strings. So if you can picture an elastic band, so think of your strings as an elastic band, and you pull that string directly in the middle of that elastic band, that's where it's going to have the most amount of vibration. And that's what we need in order to make that sound on the string. So if we, again, just nicely tuck your fingers around the body of the ukulele and your hands in perfect position for hitting the strings in the right spot. All right, so we'll start. I will only do the first verse and the chorus just for this particular tutorial for the finger picking. There'll be a full play along in the finger picking, and I'll also be doing one for these if you want to do simple strumming instead. All right. So we will start on the C note, the C chord. In here we have C, we have F, back to C. We have our G chord, back to C, back to F, back to C. We have our C7, first finger, first fret, and then our cheater, E minor, which is, you could do the full E minor, which is first, second, and third strings on the second, third, and fourth frets. But for this particular song, you can also do the cheater E minor, which is on the second fret, the first and third strings, which sounds just as lovely. And then we have that dreaded, as we call it the dreaded, but we're going to nail this sucker, the dreaded B, which sounds quite lovely in this song. So that's a matter of how do you want to do it. It's the first and second string on the second fret. if you twist your finger a little bit to get that grip, see that? With your thumb planted firmly behind, and then put your third finger, 3rd fret, 4th finger, 4th fret. You can get a pretty good sound here, or you can also bar it. So when you're barring, it's hard to get this part of your finger barred all the way across. So you actually need to sneak your finger up where you're going to have a lot more power with your finger, more of your finger involved, and pressure. So I like to move my finger across the entire fret, then add my 3rd and 4th. And you can hear I get a much clearer sound that way. It's completely up to you. 2-string cover with the finger here, or barring it and adding the 3rd and 4th across. So that'll be up to you. But the cheater E minor, 1st and 3rd string, 2nd fret, is perfectly fine. And then we are familiar with all the other chords. The last chord not mentioned yet is the G7. Then we move on to our chorus, which is the A minor, E minor cheater, D minor, A minor, and then we have C, G, C, F, back to C's, G7s, F, C, G, C. So we're pretty familiar with all the other chords. So the 3 chords to keep in mind are your E minor cheater chord, the B flat, which I like to bar, the entire 2nd fret, 3rd and 4th strings, 3rd and 4th frets, and the D minor in there. All right, so we'll play Oh Holy Night. The tutorial, the play along will be in the in a separate video, as well as a strum along video. So once again, in order to get those keys, those picking notes, it's simply chord structure by pulling down on string 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. And you want to try to keep that in rhythm. So my advice is to practice simply going 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, until you get that nicely moving along. If you're struggling with the 4, 3, 2, 1, back to the 2, 3, you can just add in a pause. So we would do 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So you would just pause or count in that spot, those 2 beats, and just pull down. So you can add a pause in there. So you just need to count in those 2 beats. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. So you don't actually have to play the notes in there, and you still get the same lovely effect with playing each of those notes within that chord. All right, on to the play along video.